Welcome guys, another week of our Regional Unplugged based here in Mildura. We're just having a coffee down at Bobby and me in Mildura. Unfortunately, Shona is a bit under the weather this morning, so she can't be with us, which is was a bit sad. She's left me on my own. But introducing John Tasci from AV Australia.
Yeah.
Welcome, mate. Thanks for jumping on.
No worries.
You're the man down there apparently, and you're the most informative when it comes to automation. And can you, I guess, just give us a bit of a backdrop on AV Australia? It's a Mildura-based business.
Mildura-based.
But you sort of run Australia-wide, yeah?
That's right. Yeah, we can provide products and services, including installation, pretty much around the country.
So if someone from Brisbane rings up and says, right, I want this actual product, you just source someone like a tradie locally to go and then fit that out. Is that sort of how it works?
That's exactly right. We have contractors around the country in every major city, and they will carry out the installation. Although before that, obviously, we design a system for the customer that suits their needs, their budget, their requirements. And once it's all settled down, that's when the installer will go in and finish it off.
So let's talk a little bit about, the reason why we obviously wanted you down here is automation, and I guess the whole smart home scenario at the moment is very popular.
Yes.
It seems to be growing and growing with technology, obviously getting better and better in every house. I'm starting to see a fair bit of it in homes that I'm selling. And I just think it's a good topic to sort of to discuss. And for anyone out there that's maybe thinking of doing it, we've just put some automated blinds in at home. It's easy, we walk downstairs and we tell the blinds to go up, and they go up, and we can tell them to go down, they go down. It's definitely not uncommon now, is it? It's something that's definitely happening. What's the biggest sort of demand at the moment, and what are the new things you're starting to get into?
Well, the new stuff really comes down to the massive variety of control options available for your home or for your business, for that matter. It can be as convenient as opening an app on your phone and just doing something. Because what the most common issue, especially around even just a living room, is you have 4 or 5 different remote controllers. One for the TV, one for this, one.
And
for
when
that.
you can't find them, it's a pain in the neck.
We've
got a little one that we lose all the time. Yeah.
Exactly, and even for our elderly, like to juggle that many remotes with that many buttons can be a real issue. So having a single remote or a single app on a tablet, with plain simple English, allowing you to control multiple devices,
so lights,
blinds,
the TV, all that sort of stuff,
television, audio control, so many things. They all come down into a simple, easy to use solution. And that is the biggest convenience you can have in your home, especially when there are age variances as well. You may know how to use everything perfectly, but the same may not apply to somebody else.
So is that a new market? Is the retirees, are they sort of coming to you saying that we need to simplify what's going on in our house, or is it their kids coming and asking for help, saying, can you simplify it for them? Is that what you're saying?
It can be that, of course. Home control and multi-device control has really evolved extremely well over the last, say, 10 years. Things have gotten easier, not just for the user, but for the installer as well. Now there are established platforms like RTI, like CBus, and these systems come together in a much more harmonious way, where it's easy to install. The costs are going down because of that ease of control and ease of setup, and they work. They work reliably.
So if you're, and we'll keep expanding on this, but if you're thinking about something like this, and you want to automate your home, or your parents' home, or whatever it is, it's pretty important that you're doing it right at the get-go, aren't you? Because it's not like you can just go in there after the house. Well, you can, but I'm assuming it's a hell of a lot easier to get in there at frame stage, like you mentioned before, to then run all those CBus scenarios. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Ideally, what you want to do is speak with somebody that knows what they're doing first.
Yeah.
Myself. That could be me.
That could be you. Yeah.
And we will iron out those details and really, in layman's terms, ask you questions that are relevant to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then design a system based on your requirements.
Yeah.
So that way, there's no waste. It's on point, and it's for purpose. And especially with new homes, the first thing you want to really get done is when it's at the frame stage, the roof is on, but the plaster isn't. Just put in cabling.
Yeah.
Cabling is so important. Get your infrastructure down first, and then you can do so many things later on.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
that's a good point.
That's very important.
What about someone that has an established home that wants to automate? You know, there's obviously ways to do that, yeah?
There are ways of doing that. So some systems require specialist wiring and cabling. Others can essentially hook into what you already have.
Yeah.
So, for example, with C-Bus requires you to run your own C-Bus cabling. Whereas something like Fabaro, which essentially will hook into your existing electrical system, and that way we don't have to rip up the entire house just to get the same thing done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Shona's watching. She's just flicked us a message. Very disappointed you couldn't be here today, but anyway, I think she's just sort of asking the question of what we're just talking. Can a home be too old to get to a new tech level? No. So,
most of it's...
I mean, there's Wi-Fi and you got your Google smart homes and all those sort of type scenarios which you can make work. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many ways of going about it. It's kind of exhausting if I were to get into every single one. But say, for example, you want to do audio distribution for your home.
Yeah.
That is your kitchen, living, dining area, maybe the master bedroom, maybe an alfresco outdoor area, and you just want nice background music.
Yeah.
So you can approach that with cabling and running cables through the walls and ceilings and installing speakers into your ceilings, or you can have a portable wireless, either a battery operated or a plug-in device that you then control just with your phone.
Yeah.
It works in every single scenario.
That's good. I think there's a lot of people that are looking at something like this that they're already in an established home, so that's important.
Yeah.
We're talking about convenience. You know, you were saying before about having remote controls set up on one tablet. What about security for anyone, for families, for retirees, for elderly that are a bit, what are your services or what are your products there? What's something that you see is really important in this day and age?
The bare minimum for home security would be an intercom system to your front door.
Okay. Yeah.
And intercom systems now, they're audio and video.
Yeah.
So the moment somebody rings the doorbell,
you can see them.
You can see them.
Yeah.
And you can talk to them, and you can choose when you want to talk to them.
Yeah.
So if there's somebody at the front door, your kids are home, you're perhaps busy in the backyard, they can see who it is without ever even going near the front door.
What about when the doorbell's rang and it drops into your phone? There's the ability to do that?
Yep, absolutely. The exact same system can notify multiple devices at the same time.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, if you're not home and somebody's rung your doorbell, well, it will take a message for you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
You can let the person who is at your door know that you're not home, or it can be completely discreet, and it will simply just let you know that somebody rang your doorbell.
Yeah. So they say with smart homes, the 4 pillars: convenience, security, comfort, and efficiency. So explain that, how they're the things that you incorporate into your business.
I think it basically covers all the things we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Convenience is we unfortunately in this day and age we all carry a mobile phone.
And we don't put it down.
And we don't. So the ability to control your home or the systems within your home and monitor them from your phone is a huge convenience for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That can apply to able or disabled.
Yeah.
It can apply to young and old.
Yeah.
And ultimately, once these kinds of systems are integrated into your home, it adds value to your life.
Yeah.
It adds value to your home. and that's something that people should really keep in mind as well.
So Wi-Fi watering systems. I was talking to Mandy at Unified Marketing this morning, and I'm sure she's watching. She was telling me that something as simple as being in Swan Hill, but able to water a garden from Swan Hill because they just laid new grass, and they needed to do it a certain amount of times during the day to actually, it was pretty warm on the weekend. So I think that's pretty cool, isn't it? At that point where you can water your garden from 250 kilometres away.
Yeah.
We're definitely entering a new age.
I was saying before, you can set it up in a way that the shower will turn on for you at the exact temperature that you want. So there are certain things that can be done.
Give me some examples of some of the coolest stuff you're seeing at the moment in this space, other than the shower coming on ready for when you wake up.
So let's say you've finished your day at work and you're on your way home. You can send a single tap button command to your control system remotely, and that system will set the scene for when you walk in through the front door. Dimmed lights, the heater's on, or the fireplace is crackling away, and everything.
Does it put the roast in the oven though? Not quite.
Perhaps not, but it can warm the oven. It can turn the oven on.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
Yep. So that's really, really fundamentally just the pinnacle of a smart home, essentially, isn't it?
I think we live in, Mildura is an extreme place to live. We're about to hit 45 this weekend. I think 42 on Friday and 45 on Saturday. To be able to, and the costs that come with heating your house and cooling your house in Mildura probably must be one of the highest in Australia, given the extreme weather we get. So I'd imagine, and I don't have a smart home, I'd imagine being able to have your house ready at the perfect temp for when you walk in would be pretty handy.
It would be, yeah. If you have pets at home,
you
want to make sure that they're comfortable.
Give me some examples of smart technology for animals.
For animals, well, tracking could be one. You can simply put a tracking collar.
So you know exactly where they are.
You know exactly where they are. A CCTV system with cameras around the perimeter or inside your home. You can essentially live view every single camera remotely, so long as you have an internet connection.
I think camera systems would be fun just purely to look back on certain things that you do yourselves. Like I ran into a snake the other day when I was spraying from insects, and I think if it had been on footage, it probably would have been up there with some of the best footage you'd see. So I reckon, even just from a security point of view, but also just go back and have a bit of a laugh at what you do in your backyard or front yard, it's probably worthwhile. We'll get back to that snake story another time, I think. So Google Home versus Smart Home. I was saying before, I've got automated blinds. In my job, you go into a house, you open blinds, you leave, you shut them. You go to the next house. It was something that was a creature comfort that I thought, wouldn't it be nice to be able to walk in the morning, downstairs, and then talk to the Google, and then them come up. So that was something that we had to do because we're an established house. So can you explain the differences there?
Well, there's really not that much of a difference.
They're essentially the same thing.
They're approaching the same problem with similar solutions. One is voice control, the other one may be a button on a tablet. They both function in exactly the same way. Although, there would be individuals out there who are concerned about their privacy and sharing their voice data with something like Google. So, we can take that into consideration, and a lot of people don't really mind. I mean, it's just what it is, and usually data is pretty safe and secure anyway. So I don't think there's too much for concern.
All right. We've gone on the domestic side of things, talking about the benefits for someone having a smart home. What about from a business point of view? There's plenty of businesses out there that are looking to adapt. It's hard for a lot of businesses because they're trying to keep up with new technology and making sure that they're providing services and new things to their customers. Give me some examples of how it can benefit business.
So starting up your business in the morning can be a bit of a process. So taking that to the next level can be as if you want to turn your audio visual system on for the morning,
Yeah.
or for the day, I should say, you can do that with a simple hit of a button. Just like how we said earlier, you can set scenes.
Yeah.
The scene in this case can be that you have your lights on, you have
The Rocky music comes on when you're running. Yeah.
Music comes on. So imagine a gym, for example. You walk in the morning, unless it's of course 24 hours it's going.
Yeah.
But you walk in the morning, or a cafe, and single button, music is on, the lights are on, and you can get about your day.
Yeah.
Offices, if you're in an office environment, you can have audio distribution just as conveniently. A factory, we actually do a lot of government as well as business installations as well. And if you're working in a factory environment or a warehouse environment, audio distribution is not just about entertaining your workers. It also serves to protect your workers and to alert them to any dangers that might exist. So the moment you hit a chime, that tells people, okay, it's time to leave the building.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so it's a definite safety.
There is a safety aspect
to it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so anyone that wants to talk to you about domestic and or business, they can just get in touch with you here locally. There's obviously easy ways to do it. Is there a smart way to do it?
Well,
just pick up the phone.
avaustralia.com.au.
Yeah. And back to your business, to the business. You started in Mildura. It's been around a long time. I remember it a long time ago in Madden Avenue. It's been around quite some time.
Yep, over 20 years now, I'd say, with way more experience in-house than just 20 years worth. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I started off as an installer. Yeah. So now I'm a general manager of the business, and and that was a pretty cool journey
to go through the process of how to do it. Yeah.
Exactly, to go from the elemental basics to the full-on design and selling of a system. It gives you limitless knowledge.
Well, you know exactly how something's going to work, don't you?
You know exactly how it's going to come together. That's right. That's the key difference.
We just had another question before. Is there particular appliances that are, say if you went to Harvey's or wherever you went and got a particular oven, can you automate them, or is there a certain type of product that you need, that they need to be enabled to do this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
So, if you go and if you went into my house and it wasn't the right oven, you just can't do it.
To an extent, to a certain point, yeah. There needs to be an interface that we can link up with. Without that interface, of course, it makes it a challenge. The very least we can do is probably switch the power on and off.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it has a chip in it, if it has the ability to say infrared remote control or RS-232 protocols, then we can get really deep into it. So based on that, we would essentially give you a list of devices, or at least put those things into a quote, so you know exactly what you're looking at.
So basically, if someone watching this thinking, this is the next step, I'm building my dream home, but I want it to have all the tech, I want it to be smart, I want to be able to have the oven on when I get home, because you think in the middle of winter, like, bit different in this weather. In the middle of winter, our hours in the day are a lot shorter, right? You almost leave in the morning and it's dark, and you get home and it's dark. So, they can come to you. You can sit there and go through that process and say, right, if this is what you want, this is where you start. This is the sort of products you want and what you're going to need. It's obviously free to have a chat to you and come in and go through that process.
Absolutely.
Google AV Australia. Talk to John. Is there anything else you want to cover?
I think the main point I'd like to make is that any system that you look at can be tailored to your needs, and it can be tailored to your budget as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to cost thousands upon thousands of dollars to have a system that gives value to your life and adds comfort to your home.
And that's probably the biggest thing from maybe 10 or 20 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Is that it's a hell of a lot cheaper now to enjoy these little creature comforts.
If we're talking something as simple as audio distribution for your home, for example, yeah, sure, you can buy the best speaker and the best amplifier and have an absolutely fantastic speaker, or you can spend a fraction of the cost and have a system that functions and sounds 90% just as good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a dramatic cost to your bottom line or anything like that at all.
Good to know.
Yeah. And the other thing is, say for example you want to do a home theatre system, you can do that to a budget, and yet the results will be just as mind-blowing, and people that walk into that room will think, oh my god, this must have cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be the case.
So if the kids are in the other room and the music and the volume's too loud, you can just turn it down on them from the other room.
You could, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's little things that'll just make life a lot easier.
You could send them voice messages.
Yeah.
And if the kids are upstairs and they're running amok, you can literally...
Can we set an alarm in their bedrooms, like so in the morning when you just press an alarm and goes off until they wake up?
Yeah, you can start
Their
playing...
head actually comes off the pillow and it releases the...
You can start playing...
You can do anything.
You can start playing AC/DC the moment you're ready to wake up for school.
Yeah, that's the Back in Black. I appreciate you coming on, mate. It's really good. And I think this is definitely a... and I know it's been around for a long time, but there's... You know, certainly I'm seeing it a lot more in my job, and I reckon it's pretty cool. I love my blinds, but you know, it's something that I think if anyone wants to get in contact with John, it's pretty simple. Just Google him, AV Australia. But thanks for coming on, and we'll hopefully there's some people out there that got some questions for you.
No worries at all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, guys. We'll chat to you next week. We'll be back on next Tuesday.